Today we are going to talk about Chinua Achebe, the greatest African writer of all times. Chinua Achebe, born Abba Chinua Achebe on 16th November 1930. He was an Igbo-Nigerian novelist, poet, and critic who is regarded as a central figure of modern African literature. His first novel and magnum opus, Thingsfall occupies a pivotal place in African literature and remains the most widely studied, translated, and read African novel. Along with Thingsfall, he is No Longer at Ease and Arrow of God. Complete the African trilogy. Later novels include A Man of the People and Anthills of the Savannah. In the West, Achebe is often referred to as the father of African literature, although he vigorously rejected the characterization. Achebe was born in Ogidi in British colonial Nigeria. Achebe's childhood was influenced by both Igbo traditional culture and post-colonial Christianity. He excelled in school and attended what is now the University of Ibadan, where he became fiercely critical of how Western literature depicted Africa. Moving to Lagos after graduation, he worked for the Nigerian Broadcasting Service (NBS) and garnered international attention for his 1958 novel, Thingsfall. In less than 10 years, he would publish 4 further novels through the publisher Henneman, with whom he began the Henneman African Writers series, and galvanized the careers of African writers such as Ngugi wa Thiong'o and Flora Nwapa. Achebe sought to escape the colonial perspective that framed African literature at the time and drew from the traditions of the Igbo people, Christian influences, and the clash of Western and African values to create a uniquely African voice. He wrote in and defended the use of English, describing it as a means to reach a broad audience, particularly readers of colonial nations. In 1975, he gave a controversial lecture, An Image of Africa, Racism in Colors, Heart of Darkness, which was a landmark in post-colonial discourse, published in the Massachusetts Review. It featured criticism of Abbas Suissa and Joseph Conrad, whom Achebe described as a thoroughgoing racist. When the region of Biafra broke away from Nigeria in 1967, Achebe supported Biafran independence and acted as an ambassador for the people of the movement. The subsequent Nigerian Civil War ravaged the populace, and he appealed to the people of Europe and the Americas for aid. When the Nigerian government retook the region in 1970, he involved himself in political parties, but soon became disillusioned by his frustration over the continuous corruption and elitism he witnessed. He lived in the United States for several years in the 1970s and returned to the US in 1990 after a car crash left him partially paralyzed. He stayed in the US in a 19-year tenure at Bard College as a professor of languages and literature, winning the 2007 Mambuka International Prize from 2009 until his death. He was professor of African Studies at Brown University. Achebe's work has been extensively analyzed, and a vast body of scholarly work discussing it has arisen.
Distinguished novelist, poet, and critic Chinua Achebe.
And so there must be things that are universal in the human story.
The way the world is organized is inadequate. That was what I wanted to do, to produce a story about my people which is unique to them. It's never been done before.
I've been away too long. Now, I knew that I was my own judge. I had to be the judge for what will leave my house. And to this day, that's where I work.
Achebe's oeuvre includes numerous short stories, poetry, essays and children's books. His style relies heavily on the Igbo oral tradition and combines straightforward narration with representations of folk stories, proverbs and oratory. Among the many themes his works cover are culture and colonialism, masculinity and femininity, politics and history. His legacy is celebrated annually at Chinua Achebe Literary Festival. Thank you for watching. Please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to drop your comments on the comment section and tell us what you think about this video. Thank you.